Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when this video finds you. And just to let you know, the book, But Hey, What Do I Know, is available at Amazon. Or you can contact me directly at myranjones@gmail.com. That's MYRANJONES at gmail.com if you would prefer an autographed copy. But I just want to talk a little bit about building wealth. And, a question I have is how can we build wealth when we're trying to make sure that our children have all of the latest name brand clothing, the tennis shoes? We do these things for our kids and then we send them to school to have the school provide their school supplies. And I know this firsthand because there are a lot of educators in my family. And they always talk about how the kids come to school with the latest fashion trends and everything. They come to school with the latest cell phones, most recent cell phones. They have all of the gaming systems at home, but they don't have pencil and paper. We teaching our kids that they can get what they want, and then everybody else is going to take care of their needs. I heard the #1 financial planner in North America some time back tell his daughter that he refuses to wear a man's name on his clothing. And when that man started to wear his name, he would reciprocate and wear his. But some of us don't feel like we're worth anything unless we buy a name brand item. Now, if the #1 financial planner says this, who are we trying to impress? This guy's clients are a lot of the professional athletes and CEOs around the country. So we complain about other coaches getting loans and we don't. You want to get in a dispute from me on that? I actually just bought a book titled A Guide to Becoming a Homeowner. And I didn't buy the book for myself. My wife and I are already homeowners. We bought that for the younger members of our family. But it was written by a guy that my mentor knows. And the title of the book is A Guide to Becoming a Homeowner for African Americans. Yes, it's different for us. That book is available at Amazon for about $10. So, yes, things are a little bit different for us. And knowing this, we ought to do a better job of how we handle our money and what we do with our money. Look at how we spend our money as a people. We put rims on vehicles that we still pay a note on. And then sometimes the tires and rims are financed too. We line up outside stores overnight, camping out to buy every new tennis shoe with someone's name attached to it. We don't save anything. And it's just not us that don't save anything. It's across all cultures. Because I think the most recent stat I heard, it said when polled, most households don't have $400 to pay for an emergency. So it's not just us, but we're probably worse off as a people. Because unfortunately, a lot of us, we don't get the higher paying jobs. We might be in the same company, but they'll pay other people a little bit more than they pay us. I've done my research on that too, and might do a video on that one day. But we don't save anything. When a lender looks at our credit score, he sees high risk because we financed everything and we've overextended ourselves. Now, I never believe everything is 100%, but we've been labeled as a people who can't be trusted, and our financial statements prove that we can't be. Why would banks give us loans? I'm not saying it's right or fair, but it's the way things operate. Slavery officially ended in 1863, and even though we're living life, we're still sitting around here begging for reparations. And like I said, I believe the conversation needs to be had. I believe something needs to be done. But we got to stop waiting for the system who mistreated and ostracized us to come back and say we're going to make it right. Come on, think about it. 1863, word got to Texas. 1865, I'm in Texas. So 1865, 1965, that's 100 years. 35 more years is 2000. 25 more years is 55. So for 155 years, the American government has not given us reparations. So what makes us think they're going to do it now? And so 1865, Juneteenth, that's why we celebrated down here in the Texas area. And a lot of people got mad because Donald Trump said he made Juneteenth popular. Fan of Donald Trump or not, he actually did, because just last year black folks didn't even celebrate Juneteenth. Then this year I actually heard black people say they've been hiding Juneteenth from us. No, he had nothing. My daddy always celebrated Juneteenth until his health didn't allow him. In many days, he was so kind enough to let me do the barbecuing for him. But what we don't know is the U.S. government has for years poured millions into the coffers of the so-called black organizations to do work in the black community. But unfortunately, the money never made it to the communities. And so we have a nail shop. Look at the type of businesses we have in our communities. We have a nail shop. Hair weave buying place, a fish fry place, pawn shop, liquor stores, chicken place, broke down, hole in the wall clubs, nightclubs. Yeah, we have AutoZone in O'Reilly and maybe a small grocery store chain. We have a small engine repair shop. And I'm talking about my area, the area I live in. We have a small tire repair place. We have shade tree mechanics on almost every corner. Have a large chain bank or two. Well, let me stop right there. The bank is gone. the bank is not even there anymore. We have a post office where the attitudes of the employees leave a lot to be desired. I mean, just yesterday, the post office delivered a package to me, and I like to talk to people. And so when I see the postal truck or UPS or FedEx or Amazon or anybody pull up, because I have my blinds open, I try to greet them at the door, and because of my foot situation, I have to get a little bit head start so I can get there by the time they get there. And so my wife told me, she said, stop going to the door when people are delivering. That's creepy. And so, me being a good boy, I listen. And so I said, well, I'll wait for her, the lady to deliver the package to the door, ring the doorbell, and then I'll go to the door and I'll get the package. Well, my wife was sitting on the sofa, and before I could make it to the door, she said, the woman just threw your package toward the door. And so when I opened the door, my package was laying in my flower bed. The woman didn't even walk all the way up my driveway. She just tossed my package. And so these are the type of things we deal with. I can't speak for any other multicultural communities, but I know in the black communities, there's a lot of disrespect that goes on. There's a lack of professionalism from a lot of these folks. And I'm not saying all of them, because one of the mailmen I had was somebody I had been knowing since elementary school. We went to school together. We went in class together in elementary, and he had some issues with his knees and leg, and so he had to take a route that wasn't as extensive, and I sure do miss him. But that's the type of stuff that we have to deal with in the hood. There are no major grocery stores here. There's no your large tire chain store. We don't have any fancy restaurants where the entire family can go down and sit in peace, where someone isn't approaching them asking for spare change. We don't have any nice yogurt or cupcake shops, no accounting firms, no decent doctor offices or law firms, no movie theaters. I mean, you get the picture. Everything we do empowers another community, not ours. The first reason I believe that a lot of the businesses won't come to this area is because the tax base is not there. Another reason I believe is because we have shown that we have no respect for other people's property. We steal, we rob, we vandalize, we trash the parking lots. Am I saying others don't have these issues? Not at all. But we've been put in a box in this country, and we keep living down to what they perceive us as. This has nothing to do, for the most part, with economic empowerment. I want to point something out to you. If the area around your house has trash, pick it up. Encourage others to clean up. And if you see one trash in your area, take down their license plates and report them. Start snitching when someone tears the place you live down. Only when we place value on the area around us will others start to treat us with dignity and respect. I mean, if they know we're keeping our watchful eye, a lot of the behavior ought to actually minimize. Trust me on that. Our acceptance of things we know are not right keeps us as a whole in a box. What if when a new book came out at Barnes and Noble, and we had, what if a new book came out at Barnes and Noble and we were standing in lines wrapped around the corner to get that book? You know, preferably mine. But hey, what do I know? When Dr. Ben Carson, who happens to be the top neurosurgeon in the world, comes out with a book detailing his life, why don't we promote that? When George Fraser does an empowerment conference around the country, why are we not lining up for that? When someone recommends a book on finances to you, why are we not beating down the doors of our bookstore library to learn about it? Can we focus on community empowerment and wealth building when our collective lives are filled with entertainment, sports, or bickering and complaining about some type of ism? Now, I didn't say there were not issues in this country, but I would rather be here than anywhere else. In spite of everything going on in this country, a lot of blacks are still succeeding in some areas. And there are actually some black-owned companies that generate over $500 million in revenue each year.